Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam. Let me start this episode with a question. Have you ever heard people say that they have no interest in politics? Did someone ever tell you that he or she does not have any interest in politics, does not pay attention to political news and updates, is not interested in the political process, and just wants to stay away from politics? Has someone ever told you that? Now, if you ask me, I can tell you that I have met various people over the course of my life so far, people who have told me that they stay away from politics, they are not interested in politics. And my initial reaction always is that I am shocked. I'm shocked to hear why somebody might say that they have no interest in politics. I have very strong interest in politics. Why? Because I understand that what happens in politics would affect the lives of people, including myself. And so I think it's in our best interest to pay attention to the political process, to know who the candidates are who are running for different offices, and we should pay attention to all the political news and updates. Now, that's my way of thinking, and I'm deeply involved in politics. I pay attention to politics all the time. In fact, my podcast is about social and political issues, both domestic and international. But I also know, because I have met a lot of people who told me that they have no interest in politics. And each time I hear that, I'm shocked. Now, I understand that God made people differently. Each person is different. Each person is unique. We are created by the same God, but we have different personalities. We have different interests. And somebody loves music. Somebody else loves sports. And even within sports, a person may have a preference for baseball, and somebody else may have a preference for soccer, and the list goes on and on. Somebody else may have a strong interest in science and technology, and a different person may have a strong interest in traveling around the world and understanding and learning about different cultures. And then there may be a different person who loves paying attention to all news and updates about international trade and business and commerce and so on and so forth. And so the list can go on and on and on. What I'm trying to say is that I understand that different people like different things. They like spending time on different areas, and each person is unique. So not everyone is going to be involved in the political process. Not everyone is going to pay attention to politics. But I also recognize that whatever happens in the political process affects all of us. If you're buying gas for your vehicle, if you're grocery shopping, if you are using a road or a bridge, if you like doing international travel, if you like, bicycling, if you like exploring the state parks or the national parks, if you are a consumer of healthcare, if you are going to college, getting your education, if you have a business, whether it's a small business or whether you're employed by a very large corporation, whatever it may be, politics affects all of us. The political process affects all of us. If we are making money paying taxes, politics affects us. And if you own a home, politics affects you, because if you own a home, you're probably paying property taxes. And how does that property tax, who decides how much property tax you're going to pay? That's a governmental body. There's a process that helps determine how much you're going to pay as property tax for the home that you own. If you don't own a home, if you are renting, if you are a renter, then landlord-tenant law is also influenced by the political process. So no matter who you are, no matter what you do, no matter what your education level is, no matter whether you have a job or you don't have a job, whether, no matter who you are, regardless of what your ethnicity is, politics affects you. What happens in the political process affects all of us. And it is the same, it's a very big, complex political process if you think about the entire nation. And I don't think I'm going to be able to talk about the entire political process in one episode, but let me just tell you that you have your local government, you have your mayor or your village president, or you have a city council or a village board or a town board, then you have county board. These are elected officials, your mayor, your city councilor, your village board member, your county supervisor. These are elected officials at the local level. And then at the state level, you have your state assemblyman, you have your state senator. At the federal level, you have your member of Congress. And then you also have your president, and the president has a cabinet that he appoints. And so at different layers, at the local level, at the state level, at the federal level, there are elected officials. And who elects these people? Voters. Voters elect candidates to different political offices. And this thing, broadly speaking, is a political process. Now, some offices are partisan offices. If somebody is running for a congressional seat or running for state senate, state assembly, running for the office of the president, that person is likely going to be a Democrat or a Republican or a Libertarian or an Independent. There's likely going to be some kind of a political label attached to that candidate that will help inform voters about that candidate. Now, at the local level, many political races are actually, they are not partisan offices, and candidates who are running for these offices may not have a political label attached, like a Republican or a Democrat, but the candidate who you're voting for, or the candidates who are running, they will likely have their political beliefs and their ideologies that they will bring into the office once they are elected. And so once people are involved in the political process and they are paying attention to political news and updates, and they are paying attention to who's running for office, and they are learning about the candidates, they are asking questions, they are going to town hall meetings, they are going to listening sessions, when people do that, they are more informed. And we have to be informed citizens. We have to know who the people are in our society who are running for different offices, who are the people in different political offices, and we have to understand the nature of government. We have to understand what the government officials are doing, what bills they are voting on, which way they are voting, why they are voting the way they are voting. And the more information we have, the better we will be able to understand what's going on around us. Okay, talk about school board. We have to pay attention to who the school board members are. We have to pay attention to the candidates who are running for school board, because those who are elected to be on the school board, they are going to be making decisions that will then affect the schools where the children go for their education. And so it's very important for everyone to pay attention to the political process and to stay informed about political news and updates. So, just going back to the original question, have you met people who told you that they don't have an interest in politics, they don't pay attention to politics? There are many people like that. There are many people who don't know who the members of their local school board are, there are folks out there who won't be able to tell you the name of their elected representatives. And, you know, I wish that more people start paying attention to what's happening in politics. I think it's important. And it's very, very important to exercise your right to vote. If you are a US citizen, please vote, because it's important. Because by voting, you are participating in the political process and you are making your voice heard. You are helping elect your representative. So, you know, this episode is all about, you know, if I were to sum it up briefly, I would say this podcast episode is meant to help people get involved in the political process, because it is so very important. And so if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Visit my website, tawsifanam.net. You can send me a message. And as you know by now, I am very much involved in politics, and I pay a lot of attention to what's happening not only in my city and in my state, but what's happening around the country. I try my best to stay as informed as I can about the different political news and updates, what's happening in local government, what's happening in state government, federal government, and I'm also a podcaster. You know that because you're listening to my podcast episode. And my podcast focuses on social and political issues, both domestic and international. So thank you for continuing to listen to my podcast. I really appreciate it. Please reach out to me with comments or questions. Once again, my website is tawsifanam.net. You can also find me on social media, and I look forward to hearing from you. And once again, thanks for staying connected. I hope to be back again soon with a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam.